So currently, when seed moves from one country to another, it's always tested on a consignment by consignment basis to see if it's free of the pests that are being regulated in that particular country. A systems approach will be an alternative to this consignment by consignment basis, where the quality systems that a seed company has in place for producing the seed, the practices that we use, are accepted by governments as agreement that the pest risks have been addressed. Acceptance of a systems approach by governments globally, what that would mean for the seed industry is reduction in costs, and also for farmers would mean certainty that their seed could get delivered on time rather than being held up at borders. For governments, it would also mean that they would actually be able to put their resources to more important phytosanitary risks and would actually save money from them as well. So I think that's a win-win situation for seed industry and governments as well as for farmers. What the ISF Phytosanitary Committee has done to try and promote the adoption of a systems approach concept for governments is first to really establish a working group under the Phytosanitary Committee to discuss this as a concept between our actual seed industry, and then we've actually outreached this with some key governments to see if this is something that would be acceptable or that could actually fly. Since then, we've had some meetings with these governments and have managed to see that there is some chance that this is going to work, and we've managed to work with governments now to get this as a priority for the International Plant Protection Convention to work on developing a global concept like this. This is a great win for the industry and for governments. We will now continue and try and develop our own concept of what that might be so we can feed that into the international debate and development of this system. The biggest challenge that I see today in phytosanitary regulations globally is actually the non-harmonised requirements that are out there for input conditions, both in terms of the number of pests and the way people see that seed is a pathway, but also in the testing protocols and import requirements that are actually required by governments. And this actually makes it very difficult for the seed industry to see what's necessary and what's needed. It's also very costly to try and do all of this, and it means that things get held up at the borders or can't make it into countries where farmers need them at the time that farmers need them. It would be great if we could actually have those harmonised around the world. What the ISF Phytosanitary Committee is trying to do is to try and produce advocacy support to try and reduce those number of pests and diseases and to harmonise those protocols. We foresee that if 80% of the pests that are actually being regulated in the world today, somewhere in the world, are actually, seed is not a pathway, and not even on the crop at all. If we could try and reduce these, it would simplify the way and the seed can move and would make sure that farmers can get the seed that they need to grow when they need to grow it.